Good morning, it's the first of the month, and that means it's time for a wrap-up video where I talk about all the stuff I hope to do in September and all the stuff I did and didn't accomplish in August. Before I start, I'm really annoyed. I think Steve is back. For anyone who doesn't know Steve, you can meet him in my video about hugelkultur building. He's a jerk, cannot stand him. I think he's coming for me again. But I have this tiny cream and I've put it on the lip and I'm hoping it fends Steve off because Steve is incredibly annoying and I am sick of Steve. It's kind of weird because I don't feel run down, but maybe I am. Steve is back, possibly, so perhaps he's here to tell me something. So maybe I'll take it easy this month, but my list of tasks makes it probably impossible to take it easy. So before I get into all the tasks and everything, I first wanted to mention that I added a super thanks button. It's down there below the video somewhere. I already get some revenue from people watching the ads, but this is just a little extra thing for anyone who feels compelled to contribute to the channel. My idea for the super thanks funds is to put that money back into the channel. So buy things that will help me improve the videos and make the quality better for everybody watching. So that's the plan. This month, super thanks raised just under 75 euros, which I'm amazed at. That's awesome. From 5 people. Thank you, Justina, Jane and Clementine. It's one person. Eileen, Dream Create, and Mom and Dad. So that 75 euros this month is going to be retroactively put towards the audio licensing fees that I paid. I signed up for that 3 months ago, knowing full well I probably couldn't afford it, and I kind of can't. So I'm going to put some of the money towards that, and then I'm going to buy a little mini Grippiani tripod. It's called a GorillaPod, I think, and I think it'll make filming a lot easier for me. Filming as one person is quite difficult, so anytime I can get a tripod that grips onto trees and all kinds of things, I think that'll be really helpful. So I'm going to pick up one of those with this money as well. And yeah, thanks very much. Next up is probably going to be saving for a microphone that I can use outside in the wind because it's always stopping and starting. Today it's quite windy, and so this has been a bit of a frustrating filming session because I have to keep stopping and waiting. A microphone will really change my life and hopefully also change the quality of the video for the better. Wind in videos, super annoying, so if I can eliminate that, I will, and so I'll be saving up for that, I think, for my next purchase. Anyway, thanks very much again for that, and on to the monthly wrap. So I've got my handy whiteboard here that I will be reading from, because I don't really remember all that I did in August, so let's see. The first thing on my list for August was processed food. I saw the garden going completely nuts and wanted to capture all of that yummy goodness into jars so I could preserve it and eat it later on. First thing I wanted to make was tomato chutney. I made it. I think I ended up with about 8 jars, and it's pretty delicious. Not as spicy as I would have thought considering all the chilies I put in there, but I'm really happy with it, and I have some ways to improve it next time I make it. I also picked up jalapenos. I picked those a few weeks ago, and I might actually end up with a second harvest of them as well, so that's pretty cool. I tried them for the first time a couple nights ago, and they were a success. I was worried that the way I was preserving them in a water bath would cause them to be mushy, which has happened on all previous attempts. But this time, the trick that I used, it worked, and I'm happy. I've got some, I think 8 jars of crispy, tasty, spicy jalapenos. And so the pesto, I haven't done it yet, but it's August 31st, and I've already picked the basil. I've already got that all ready to go, and I'm going to make the pesto right after I do this video. So I'm calling that one done. Cob wall. So the cob wall is one of these ones that seems to be carrying over for a few months now, but it's my top priority in September. I'm really excited to finish this thing, and I love working with cob, which is a mixture of clay, sand, and straw and water. It's a wonderful material to use. I have the clay, I have the straw, I have everything I need. The wall's even partially started, so I just need to get to it. I'm going to make it my #1 priority in September, and I'll probably start it within the next couple of days. So not finished, but hopefully September is the month I get it done. Continue the kitchen. I did that. I worked on some more portions of my shelf. I didn't put anything in this time around, but I have a lot of pieces ready for when the installation happens, and I think I'm on a good path. So I I continued work on the kitchen. I also continued on the water tank. I tried to plug up some cracks, fill in some more holes along the edges of the tank, and I also finally poured a very dubious looking concrete floor into the splash pool area. So that was a couple weekends of work, and yeah, I think I got a lot done. So success on that front. And slaking lime. I actually did this a couple days ago where I soaked the lime powdery stuff into lime putty. It needs to soak for several months before you can use it, so I wanted to get it on soak ASAP. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any of the big bags of lime, so even though the smaller ones make everything way more expensive, I picked up 5 bags, slaked 25 kilos of the lime, and now that's soaking. So I need to locate the bigger bags, and I want to get a lot more lime on soak, but I'm happy to have at least got this little batch ready so that I don't think I'll run out anytime soon. So that was August. I think it was a success. I'm really happy with how it went. Remember also that we had some crazy heat wave action happening, so basically all of August and July, and most of July, I could only work up until about noon and then had to stop. So I'm impressed. I feel like I did well. But it's September now, and the heat wave, I think, is over. So that means I'll be able to get some long days of work in, and I won't be constrained by melting outside. And so it means that my September list is a little longer than my August list, and quite a bit more ambitious. Plus, in exciting news, my parents are visiting in October, in mid-October, so I want to do as much as possible to get the place a little nicer for them. Inside the house, it's still a mess, but there's a lot of jobs that I can do that will make it a lot more cozy and make it just a much nicer place to hang out in. So I'm going to be quite focused on building tasks in September inside the house. But enough talk about that. Let's get to the list and see what I have planned. Man, this doesn't want to come off. The first thing on my list for September has to be fix my angle grinder. I cut a whole bunch of stones when I was making the front door porch thing, and it's got a lot of dust in there. So I need to figure out a way to blow it out with air. A friend of mine has an air compressor, so I'll go visit him, see if that does the trick. If not, I'll need to figure out what the problem is. So that's number one task. Hopefully it's a quick fix, because this is an incredibly useful tool and I can't work on my water tank without it. I need to cut some bricks. So fix this guy, number one job. And so next on the list will be the cob wall. It's a priority. I want to get this thing done. I want to get those buckets of clay out of my face and into a wall form. I'm looking forward to this job, so I don't know why it's taken me so long, but this will be the month that I get the cob wall done. Third on my list will be drilling a mega huge hole through my wall in the kitchen so that I can feed a gas line pipe through it and have my gas canister outside. I currently have my cooking gas inside the house with me, which I'm not worried about because I don't actually have a ceiling bottom of my door or anything, so if gas were to leak, it's not going to accumulate in a sealed house, which is the danger. But it's still not wise to have it inside for safety reasons and also just for space. It's quite bulky and big. And if I can have it sitting on the opposite side of the wall outside on my front porch, I'll build a little box to encase it eventually. That'll save me loads of space inside the kitchen, and it will allow me to continue to work on my kitchen build, because right now I have to drag it around all over the place and work around it, and it's very annoying. So I'm going to get out the big guns. I borrowed a giant SDS drill from a friend, and I'm going to plug it into this Blue Eddy solar generator thing that I have because my system won't power it, and drill a hole in the wall. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get it done. I've never done it before. I've never drilled a massive hole into a stone wall before with a giant drill. So I'm looking forward to that. I like doing new things, but I'm also a little bit apprehensive because I haven't done it before. So that's job number 3. And the fourth thing on my list is collect telegraph poles. Telegraph poles? What are those? They are old school poles used for the electricity lines all around Portugal, and there's a place nearby that has a whole bunch of them for sale. I don't remember the price, but it's probably cheaper than you'd expect. But these things are huge. I think they're about 9 meters long. You have to go with a chainsaw, chop them up into smaller pieces, and stick them in a truck and take them away. They're really useful. They have obviously been treated into oblivion, so they're good for building foundations. And I'd like to use them to make a sort of water tower type structure that's not really a tower, more of a water holder. So not super high, but basically a platform for my water tank. But in order to get the telegraph poles, I need to arrange a chainsaw, a friend that knows how to use a chainsaw, and a truck. And I think I have all those pieces in place, and I'm hoping that this month we can get it done. The reason I didn't do it in August was because it was way too hot all the time, but now that it's cooler, my friend and I can hopefully go get these things and I can start making a plan for them. Next up is the job that I've been avoiding for so very long. The window. The window. My place has no window. It's dark. It's gloomy in there. My parents are visiting again in October. The lack of a window, I think they're not into that. So I'd love to get moving on that, but it's not a job I'm confident of doing myself. I've done the inside of the window halfway through, but the outside, it's the face of the building. I need nice stones. I don't want to screw it up. I think I need a professional. Luckily, I know a professional stonemason, and so I'm hoping to lure him over to my place next week and get kind of a consultation and a quote for what's involved in getting the work done. The window itself isn't the problem. I'm probably going to have a window made unless I get really brave and try to make one myself. And I know how to make a box for it to sit in out of wood. The problem is the stony part. It needs big stones to frame the outside of the window. So basically it's the hole that the window sits in. That's what I'm frightened of, and that's what I'm hoping to work on this month. And the next two things on my list are continue with the water tank and continue with the kitchen. So that would be the 6th and 7th task on my list. Basically just exactly what I've been doing so far, plugging away little by little, trying to finish a bit here, a bit there, and moving towards hopefully one day finishing both of these things. So the water tank, like I said, I don't film that really. I'm putting that into a bigger video that I'll release all at once. And the kitchen, you should see some of that hopefully in a more finished state by the end of September. So I'm looking very forward to that. And so the last couple of things on my list are carryovers from previous months. First is order the wood. I've put in a quote, so I'm sort of at the mercy of how long it takes the wood guy to get back to me. Once I get the quote, I'll be able to finish my order and put that in. Probably won't get it in September, but I'm hoping I'll get the wood by October. But I can't get the wood if I don't make the order, so I definitely need to get that in this month. I've more or less decided on the design I want, so I know the wood that I want, and I just need the quote, and then I can make the order. So hopefully everything goes pretty quickly. And the last thing on my list is a carryover from a couple months ago, and then it got just way too hot to do anything physical. That's go for a walk. I still haven't really gone on a nice explore around the area. I need to make that a priority because I really do enjoy it, and I am finding that I'm spending a lot of time sitting behind the computer doing video stuff. So I need to contrast that with going out and doing something physical. It's okay when I'm working in the garden because I stay busy and I'm doing a lot of physical stuff, but if I'm doing carpentry and building, it's a lot less physical and I just start to feel kind of blah. I've got a pretty ambitious list, I think, and a lot of this stuff actually depends on other people. So getting the wood, getting a quote for my window, and getting the telegraph poles, they all depend on whether other people are busy or not. So hopefully that all works out for me. I'm excited about this month's list of tasks. I'm hopeful I can get everything done. I think with a bit of hard work and a bit of luck, everything should fall into place. Tomorrow's video is out as usual. It's not going to be anything to do with this work. It's going to be some stuff from August where I do another mishmash video of a whole bunch of different things and a few social outings as well. So tune into that video tomorrow at 5 p.m. and I hope you like it, and I hope you like this video as well. Let me know what you think of these wrap-up videos. If there's any other information you'd like to see, do let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm missing out on something that's obvious that would be useful in a monthly wrap-up, or yeah, something like that. Who knows? Let me know. So goodbye from this video. I'll see you tomorrow for the usual video, and I'll see you in another month for another wrap-up video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the next video.